morning, everyone. Can you hear me okay? Awesome. So my apologies that I'm a bit late getting here this morning. I'm Maggie Baldwin. I'm the State Veterinarian. And my flight coming back from Minnesota last night was delayed. My son and I made it in about 4 a.m. So happy to be here with you all this morning. I just wanted to say a quick thanks, one, to you all for being here. It is truly wonderful. I was here last year for the conference. It was fantastic to meet so many people and really see the way that our BAP team has just taken charge. It's been phenomenal. We've seen so much growth in our BAP team over the last year, continuing to grow, and we're really excited about that. So I am here, I am along for the ride, and I'm really excited to be part of the work that BAP is doing, as well as creating the new Division of Animal Welfare. So I will be here throughout the afternoon and hope to get to say hi to some of you and visit with you and hear about what you guys are doing out in the field. So with that, I'm keeping my remarks very brief. I'm going to turn it over to First Gentleman Marlon Reese.
Thank you so much, Maggie. Hi, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here today on such a momentous occasion. First and foremost, I really do want to start by giving thanks to everyone who had a hand in crafting this unique and important legislation. Our wonderful Commissioner of Agriculture, Kate Greenberg, whose years-long commitment and leadership have never wavered on the question of whether animal welfare matters. Today's legislation proves that it does. I also want to thank Commissioner Greenberg's extraordinary team at the Department of Agriculture, Deputy Commissioners Hollis Glenn and Jordan Beasley, who worked tirelessly to ensure that this legislation is an accurate reflection of the diverse values of all Coloradans who are lucky enough to live and work with animals. Our spectacular state veterinarian, Maggie Baldwin, who quite literally goes to work every day to look after the health and welfare of Colorado's animals. And an uncompromising champion for Colorado's companion animals, PACFA program manager Nick Fisher and his outstanding team of inspectors and investigators, and the compassionate heroes at Bureau of Animal Protection, program manager Dr. Courtney Deal, lead investigator Taylor Peterson, lead veterinarian Dr. Claire Vaden, and the over 100 licensed BAP agents around the state who've dedicated themselves to the noble pursuit of animal protection. So all of you. And to the many stakeholders who came together over the common cause of doing something great for animals. Last but not least, and I'm not sure, do we have any of the bill sponsors with us today? Maybe not, but I'll say their names. Majority Leader Monica Duran, Representative Ryan Armagast, and Senators Rachel Zenzinger and Dylan Roberts for sponsoring this legislation. Without them, we wouldn't be here today. And I want to say on behalf of all animal advocates across Colorado and beyond, express my profound gratitude for putting Colorado on the map as a state that cares. Today's legislation represents sort of a quantum leap forward in our ongoing work to make Colorado a leader on animal issues. At its heart is the simple but transformational recognition that when animals thrive, people thrive. It's about creating safe, compassionate communities that actively prioritize well-being over neglect and mistreatment. And this extends to people as well as to animals. This tenet is foundational to our collective identity as Coloradans. We care enough about animals to make them a priority. As a state, we are truly fortunate to be home to so many compassionate, determined advocates and leaders like those of you here today. The work of protecting animals is by nature teamwork. It happens at the community level. It means standing up and speaking out for animals when they're in trouble and can't defend themselves. And it means giving law enforcement the tools they need to do their job. Together, as we say in the governor's office, we are creating a Colorado for all that now includes people and animals alike. I couldn't be more delighted or more optimistic about the future. And so once again, I want to give a great and heartfelt thank you to everyone here for your tremendous work, the work you do every day protecting animals, the work our team has done to make this legislation possible, and for your unconditional commitment to animal protection. And it is my honor to introduce the governor, Governor Polis.
Well, great. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Commissioner Greenberg. Great to see the BAP team, Dr. Deal, Taylor Peterson, Dr. Vaden. Really excited to be able to address all of you. Thank you for your work as BAP agents. We're elevating this from a structural perspective in the agency. You're going to be witnessing a bill signing very soon that will formally establish the Division of Animal Welfare that will house the Bureau of Animal Protection and the Pet Animals Care and Facilities, PACFA, a new grant initiative to help horses, and we will see what else the future brings. These initiatives will really help advance the highest standards of care for domestic and farm animals in our state, which is really of critical importance. The first gentleman, of course, mentioned the moral imperative, but I would add to that two things. One is from the expanding markets perspective. Really, the number one thing when Commissioner Greenberger and I are meeting with our European trade partners or our Asian trade partners, one of the top items discussers too, one always is how do you do agriculture in a way that's consistent with our climate goals. The second is what are your animal welfare protections in place, and obviously Colorado doesn't have extensive animal welfare protections as the EU has or many of our trade partners have, but we do, as a point of distinction, have higher standards than most states, and that's beginning to gain recognition with our international trade partners expanding markets for grown and made in Colorado products. The second dimension I want to highlight is our administration's goal of making Colorado one of the 10 safest states, and that means making it safer for all of our residents, and of course making sure that we are able to provide the specialized resource and assistance around animal-related crimes through the BAP to support our local law enforcement officials, particularly in areas where they might not have animal control offices in larger cities, et cetera. And you'll get a local sheriff's deputy or a member of the municipal police department saying, something looks wrong with this animal. What's going on here? What do we need to do? We're here to help, and we're here to help support making Colorado safer. Crimes against animals are often a precursor crime for crimes against humans. Of course, we also recognize the human dimension. Many of the issues that BAP encounters are mental health or behavioral health issues or financial issues, particularly on the farmed animal side. And we want to make sure we're able to connect people with the resources they need and obviously temporarily care for the animals or if need be on a more permanent basis. So we're very excited to integrate this work with expanding the market for made in Colorado, grown in Colorado products, as well as making Colorado one of the 10 safest states by supporting law enforcement in the field across the state in making sure that investigations are done correctly. And this bill that we're going to be signing in just a moment will streamline our animal welfare initiatives, create the Equine Welfare Grant Initiative, and we want to do more around horse health as well. We know that when equine and bovine complaints are investigated, they often involve mental health or behavioral health or financial challenges. Generally, when it's, as I mentioned, on the farm side, it could be somebody who simply is the caregiver for animals and is suffering from depression, can't get out of bed for a couple of weeks, who's taking care of the animals, how do they get the help they need. It could also be that can't afford feed, perhaps too proud to ask for help and not sure where to go, and the animals will slowly starve. So those are the kinds of real world scenarios where the Bureau of Animal Welfare can really provide meaningful help. And we're excited to support that work to advance the highest standards of care for companion and farmed animals. I want to thank Majority Leader Duran, Senator Rachel Zenzinger, Representative Ryan Armagost, and Senator Dylan Roberts for getting this legislation through that you're going to see signed in a second. Basically what this does is it streamlines these efforts within Colorado Department of Agriculture, provides more resources, which we need, and it elevates the way we look at this, just as we also, as I mentioned, do kind of on soil health and climate and a whole host of issues where our ag producers are also on the front lines. We very much want to make sure that when consumers experience and buy Colorado Proud products, whether it's here, whether it's in the other states, whether it's abroad, that they know that our values around climate and animal welfare are part of what makes that brand special, and indeed part of what can achieve a premium for those grown and raised in Colorado products that we're so proud to be part of creating here in Colorado. We also, of course, value pets in Colorado. Forbes ranked Colorado as the state with the most devoted dog owners in the country. I know for cat people out there, I'm sure our cat owners are equally as devoted. We're dog people in our family, but I know there's plenty of cat people and bird people and many others. And we, through PACFA and our work, also, and of course, want to make additional improvements in the future, but really making sure that we're breeding in a responsible way, that companion animals also have the basic protections in place, and again, often dealing with some of the same types of behavioral health or financial issues that might affect others as well. And we look forward to being able to be that resource. So in addition to doing what's right, we're structuring our Department of Ag around supporting our producers, our pet owners, and helping to distinguish grown and raised in Colorado products as among those that highlight the values of animal welfare and climate, obviously in this case, the animal welfare side. And yes, make sure that we're able to support local law enforcement, including some of you in the audience, with the resources you need for the types of crime that might be novel and different and not the typical crime where you need to pull in a veterinarian or somebody to help you identify what's going on, as well as the solutions for those crimes, including taking care of the animal itself. So with that, I'll be joined by the folks from our Department of Ag. We will sign this bill. I would also add that the job posting is out for the head of this division, so if you know anybody, go ahead and apply. And I think after that, there's a couple other positions funded that will go out later in this division. We're staffing up and very excited that Colorado can be in the forefront of supporting pet owners and producers, animals themselves. This bill will further that and make sure that this is not just a temporary organizational aspect of CDA, but it's a statutory way that we're making sure that CDA is here for the long run to support you, our BAP agents, to support law enforcement in general, and to support both farm and domestic animals across the great state of Colorado. So let's make this official.